Hi, I'm an old guy and I do maths, and the problem that we have in front of us today is an intimidating looking one. We have to graph this log function, y equals 3 log e x plus 7 minus 3. So we have to start somewhere, and I think a good place to start is to consider this. It's a good idea to see if, when you're confronted with something like this, you can get a clear idea of where the asymptote is, or where it's moved to from its position on the y-axis. We'll call that y. This is x. And this has moved the asymptote from here 7 to the left. So this is x equals -7. This point down here is -7. This is a positive logarithm, so it's going to have this basic shape. Now that has some implications for us because of the fact that this asymptote has moved. Had the asymptote not moved, our logarithm graph would do something like this. We'd have one intercept here, which we could probably find without too much difficulty. As it is, we now probably are looking for 2, unless we get really lucky and this goes through the origin, which it doesn't look like it's going to do. So let's start looking. The first and obvious thing to do is to make x equals 0, in which case we get the following: 3 log e to the 7, so that x is 0, minus 3. So it's 3 log e of 7 minus 3. And that is where x equals 0. So that is somewhere here. Let's mark a point and call it what it is, which is 3 log e 7 minus 3, which you can go to the trouble of putting in your calculator and getting an approximation for. That, of course, gives us another problem because this thing did not conveniently pass through the origin, so we are now looking for another point here somewhere. So what do we do for that? Well, we have to make y equal 0 in that case, and I'll just get some room down the page here and go to work on that. So 3 log e x plus 7 minus 3 equals 0. And this is just going to involve some algebra and then one logarithm rule at the end of this, by the look of it. So 3 log e x plus 7 equals 3. What we'll do is we'll remove this 3, so we get log e x plus 7 equals 3 divided by 3, which is 1. Now, we can rewrite this as x plus 7 equals e to the power of 1, which of course is e. So we get a value of x equaling e to the power of 1 is e, minus 7. And that is some point here, which again you can work out. You can get a calculator and work out the exact value of that. It's actually probably closer to here than my drawing indicates. But this point here is e minus 7, 0. And our graph looks like this. Sorry, I'm going to draw through these coordinates. It looks like that. And so that is the graph of y equals log e x plus 7 minus 3 with its 2 intercepts, with its asymptote out here to the left, and there is the working involved in finding x. It's simply a matter of making this whole thing equal 0, and then using the rule that allows you to swap from logs to exponentials, and that gives you x. Finding y was easier than one might expect. You simply insert 0 into this expression and you wind up with this. So maybe not as hard as it looks once you get going and once you think about how you apply rules, but it still is, I think, a fairly daunting looking question. It's certainly, or questions like this have certainly drawn some of my students up short. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.